Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpataru Vayascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Nama Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Grim Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande Shri Gurun Dinataranam. Hare Krishna. Again, whoever is joining new, these invocation pranam mantras are given at the very beginning of the introduction of Bhagavad-gita. So whoever is new, they should follow those few paragraphs. Eventually, you will remember these pranam mantras. So let's continue. Today is our third day and we are reading Bhagavad-gita as it is. Introduction by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. We are going to start reading from this paragraph which starts, what is this consciousness? So yesterday a little bit Prabhupada was explaining about Jiva, Ishvara, Prakriti, Kala and Karma. These 5 subjects are the main subjects of Bhagavad Gita. Out of that, Jiva and Ishvara, they have consciousness, and how do they, even though they both are conscious, how this consciousness in Jiva and Ishvara are different from each other. So today we are going to read from this paragraph. I don't know what page this starts in your Bhagavad Gita, but it starts by this question: what is this consciousness? So let's start reading. What is this consciousness? This consciousness is I am. Then what am I? In contaminated consciousness, I am means I am the Lord of all I survey. I am the enjoyer. Yesterday a little bit we touched upon contaminated consciousness and purification of consciousness. So Prabhupada is explaining here, consciousness means you are aware of who you are. And now this, whenever we identify ourselves with the material world surrounding us and we try to acquire that and enjoy that, that is called contaminated consciousness. In contaminated consciousness, I am means I am the Lord of all I survey. I am the enjoyer. The world revolves because every living being thinks that he is the Lord and creator of the material world. Material consciousness has two psychic divisions. One is that I am the creator, and the other is that I am the enjoyer. But actually, the Supreme Lord is both the creator and the enjoyer. And the living entity, being part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, is neither the creator nor the enjoyer, but a cooperator. He is the created and the enjoyed. For instance, a part of a machine cooperates with the whole machine. A part of the body cooperates with the whole body. The hands, feet, eyes, legs, and so on are all parts of the body, but they are not actually the enjoyers. The stomach is the enjoyer. The legs move, the hands supply food, the teeth chew, and all parts of the body are engaged in satisfying the stomach, because the stomach is the principal factor that nourishes the body's organization. Therefore, everything is given to the stomach. One nourishes the tree by watering its root, and one nourishes the body by feeding the stomach. For if the body is to be kept in healthy state, then the parts of the body must cooperate to feed the stomach. Similarly, the Supreme Lord is the enjoyer and the creator, and we as the subordinate living beings are meant to cooperate to satisfy him. This cooperation will actually help us, just as food taken by the stomach will help all other parts of the body. If the fingers of the hand think that they should take the food themselves instead of giving it to the stomach, then they will be frustrated. The central figure of creation and of enjoyment is the Supreme Lord. And the living entities are cooperators. By cooperation, they enjoy. The relation is also like that of the master and the servant. If the master is fully satisfied, then the servant is satisfied. Similarly, the Supreme Lord should be satisfied, although the tendency to become the creator and the tendency to enjoy the material world are there also in the living entities, because these tendencies are there in the Supreme Lord, who has created the manifest cosmic world. We shall find therefore in this Bhagavad Gita that the complete whole is comprised of the Supreme Controller, the controlled living entities, the cosmic manifestation, Prakriti, eternal time, and karma or activities. And all of these are explained in this text. All of these taken completely from the complete whole. And the complete whole is called the Supreme Absolute Truth. The complete whole and the complete absolute truth are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. All manifestations are due to his different energies. He is the complete whole. It is also explained in the Gita that impersonal Brahman is also subordinate to the complete. Brahman is more explicitly explained in the Brahma Sutra to be like the rays of the sunshine. The impersonal Brahman is the shining rays of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Impersonal Brahman is incomplete realization of the absolute whole. And so also is the conception of Paramatma in the 12th chapter. There it shall be seen that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Purushottam, is above both impersonal Brahman and the partial realization of Paramatma. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is called Satchidananda Vigraha. The Brahma Samhita begins in this way: Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Krishna is the cause of all causes. He is the primeval cause, and he is the very form of eternal being, knowledge and bliss. Impersonal Brahman realization is the realization of his Sat feature. Paramatma realization is the realization of the Chit feature. But realization of the personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the realization of all the transcendental features, Sat, Chit and Ananda, being, knowledge and bliss, in complete Vigraha. Vigraha means form. Now, Prabhupada explains a little bit about consciousness. Even though we are conscious because we are part and parcel of the Supreme Conscious. But we have to realize the relationship between us and the Supreme Lord, and we have to act in that relationship, otherwise we suffer. And the main reason for our suffering is we are trying to be the Supreme Consciousness. We are trying to be the enjoyer. We are trying to be the creator. And that is never going to work, because the relationship between us and the Lord is that of like a machine and a part of the machine. We are part and parcel of Krishna. That's what we read yesterday. Now, in the next paragraph, Prabhupada is explaining a little bit about 3 different features of the Supreme Being. They are called Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. This is explained in the 2nd chapter of Bhagavad-gita in great detail. Just I'll give you a little bit of overview. Lord or Lord Krishna may be called by any different name by different people. Some people say that he is in every living entity. Some people say that the entire nature and the energy that is sustaining this nature, Prakriti, is also Bhagavan, is also Supreme Being. And Vedic scriptures, they accept all this. Like in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavaniti Shabdate. So Brahma Swarup, Paramatma Swarup and Bhagavan Swarup are the part of Supreme Being. They are the same as Supreme Being, but in different forms. But the way it is explained is, the Brahman feature of the Supreme Being is the energy that comes out of Supreme Being, and this Brahman feature has no Swarup, no Akar. It's in the form of energy, all-pervading energy, everywhere. The energy, we see it in the form of energy. Some people call it nature, some people call it, some kind of Shakti or something. And there is the localized feature of this Supreme Being, which is called Paramatma, who is situated in every living entity's heart, being a friend and a controller. And then there is a Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has a Swarup, who has Akar, that is in the form of Satchit Ananda Vigraha form. And that is called Bhagavan realization. In the 2nd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, this is explained very nicely with the example of sun. Some people can say that all the sun rays everywhere spread across, all pervading, is the sun, which is true, but it's partial knowledge. Beyond that, someone can go and say, oh, there is a sun globe from where these sun rays are coming. Even his knowledge is called partial knowledge, because beyond that one has to understand that sun planet is there is a sun god is there, and who is controlling this energy of the sun. That is complete understanding. Similarly, this Brahman feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is compared with the sun rays. It's all pervading. And the Paramatma feature is compared with the sun globe. And Bhagavan, in a complete form, he is compared with the sun god himself. There is one more example, but we will go through that once we start reading this in the 2nd chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Let's continue. People with less intelligence consider the supreme truth to be impersonal, but he is a transcendental person, and this is confirmed in all Vedic literatures. Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. As we are individual living beings, have our individuality, the supreme absolute truth is also, in the ultimate issue, a person. And realization of the supreme, of the personality of Godhead, is realization of all the transcendental features. What this means is, when you understand the sun god, you don't have to separately understand the sun globe, and you don't have to separately understand the sun rays. But someone who thinks sun rays is the sun, his knowledge is partial, it's incomplete. Similarly, one who understands Bhagavan, Lord Krishna, in his personal form, he doesn't have to understand the Paramatma feature, he doesn't have to separately understand the Brahman, the all-pervading energy of Krishna form, because he knows everything. I was not going to go into detail, but there is another example of this is given, that is of gulab jamun. If you are sitting outside in the room and just smell is coming from the kitchen of nice fresh gulab jamuns, that's all pervading smell. You can smell everywhere. Person who thinks the smell is gulab jamun, his knowledge is incomplete. Someone who goes inside and sees gulab jamuns, he knows little more than person who just smells. But his knowledge is also incomplete because he has just seen it. Someone who takes it in his hand, eats, his knowledge is complete. Someone who eats, he doesn't have to separately understand how it looks like. He doesn't have to separately understand how it smells like. But someone who gets stuck thinking that, oh, this smell that is coming throughout the house, that is gulab jamun. I don't believe there is any gulab jamun beyond this. That's how some people think of the Lord, Bhagavan. This energy, I don't believe in God being a person. This energy, I believe that this energy is God. We meet so many people like that. So this is what Prabhupada is explaining here. The complete whole is not formless. So people who think all this all-pervading energy is the God, they don't believe in the form of the God. They don't believe in the personality of God. They are called Nirakarvadi, Nirvisheshvadi, Shunyavadi, etc., Mayavadi. So Prabhupada is trying to stress in these two paragraphs that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is indeed has a form. He's a person, he's an individual just like you and me. The complete whole is not formless. If he is formless, or if he is less than any other thing, then he cannot be complete whole. The complete whole must have everything within our experience and beyond our experience. Otherwise, it cannot be complete. What this means is all these Nirakarvadi, Nirvisheshvadi people, it's very easy to win over them if you ever had to deal with them and in a debate or something like that. See, everybody in this world, they do accept that whatever form of the God is, he should be all-powerful, omnipotent. That is what they call it. He should be omnipotent, he should be omniscient, and he should be omnipresent. Otherwise, what is the use of God? He should be all-powerful. The very definition of all-powerful means there is nothing impossible for him. So if you accept that there is nothing impossible for him, then why are you saying being in a personal form, having akar or swarup or form is not possible? So this Nirakarvadi, Nirvisheshvadi people, they don't accept that God has a form. Then then you should not accept God, because God means he's supremely powerful. If he is powerful, he should be able to manifest himself in a form also, and in formless also. So bhakta devotees, or who believe in the form of the Lord, Sakarvadi, they believe in everything. They believe that Lord has a form, Lord has a permanent form, as well as Lord can be present formless also in the form of energy. Both should be possible. Otherwise, Prabhupada says here, otherwise how can we accept him as a complete whole? Otherwise he's incomplete. He's not that powerful. If he is not able to do that, if he is less powerful, then there should be someone else who is more powerful than him. And if someone else is more powerful than him, then we have to accept him as God. Isn't it? It's a very important technical understanding. We have to accept this. Prabhupada was basically fighting against these Mayavadis, Nirvisheshvadis. So we will come across this explanation many times, almost in every chapter, every purport. The complete whole must have everything within our experience and beyond our experience. Means whatever we think he should be able to do it, and whatever we cannot even imagine he is able to do it. Because he is all powerful, he is complete, he is perfect. Otherwise, it cannot be complete. The complete whole personality of Godhead has immense potencies. How Krishna is acting in different potencies is also explained in Bhagavad-gita. This phenomenal world or material world in which we are placed is also complete in itself, because the 24 elements of which this material universe is a temporary manifestation, according to Sankhya philosophy, are completely adjusted to produce complete resources which are necessary for the maintenance and subsistence of this universe. There is nothing extraneous, nor is there anything needed. Particularly this concept is very difficult to accept, very difficult to digest by Gnostic people, atheistic people, or dogmatic people. This is actually a verse from Upanishads where it is said, Om Purnamadam Purnamidam. Lord Krishna is complete and perfect. Whatever he creates is also complete and perfect. And it comes from him. And when that complete and perfect is removed from Lord Krishna, what remains is also complete and perfect. So many people who don't believe in God, they kind of question that how can you call this material manifestation as complete and perfect? Because there are so many problems here, isn't it? There's so much suffering. Okay, engineers especially, they will call it as and they do. Engineers, scientists, they don't accept this universe, this material world as a complete and perfect. That's why they keep researching to make it perfect. They think that Lord has made so many mistakes while creating this universe, and it's their job to fix it. And that's how they work day and night, isn't it? Yeah. And that's why the agricultural scientists, they try to hybridize it. They do this hybridization of seeds and grafting of different plants. They're trying to fix what Lord has made mistakes. Yeah. They want to create a plant which can produce potatoes underground and strawberries on the top. We will do it. We can fix it. Lord made a mistake while making this. And then they blame the Supreme Person for not being perfect, or they don't believe in God actually, because they think whatever is created in this universe is all mess. It's all mistake. We need rain here on our farm, but it keeps on raining in the ocean. How is it perfect? It's a wrong system. It's a badly designed system. That's how they feel. But when you read Vedic literature, when you study Vedic literature, you will understand that this world is created perfectly. Because then you understand the purpose of creation, purpose behind this creation. See, when you don't understand why this particular thing is created, and you try to use it for something else, obviously you will think this is not perfect. You sit on a mobile phone and try to fly, and you keep blaming, oh, this is not designed properly. Mobile phone is not designed for your flight. Similarly, this world is not designed for your enjoyment. This is designed to punish you. And in that respect, it is perfect. It is completely perfect. Not even a single person can escape this punishment. So this is a long sentence, but try to understand. This phenomenal world or material world in which we are placed is also complete in itself, because the 24 elements of which this material universe is a temporary manifestation, according to Sankhya philosophy, are completely adjusted to produce complete resources which are necessary for the maintenance and subsistence of this universe. There is nothing extraneous, nor is there anything needed. Now, what are these 24 elements is they are talking about? We will read that eventually in Bhagavad-gita. This manifestation has its own time fixed by the energy of the Supreme Whole. When its time is complete, these temporary manifestations will be annihilated by the complete arrangement of the complete. See, the entire universe is destroyed and then again kept in a subtle form in the body of Lord Vishnu. This whole system is properly and completely designed, perfectly designed. There is complete facility for the small complete units, namely the living entities, to realize the complete, and all sorts of incompleteness are experienced due to incomplete knowledge of the complete. This is a place for our punishment, but it is designed in such a way that you are also allowed to understand what mistake you made, gain the knowledge about the Supreme Lord, gain the knowledge about your relationship with Him, and when you are able to surrender to Him and re-establish your relationship with Him, you can also get out of this prison. Any prison is designed in such a way. There are two purposes of prison. One is to punish you, and one is to facilitate you to understand that you made a mistake and get out of there. So Bhagavad-gita is given to you for this purpose. Prabhupada says here, how do we get out of this? And all sort of incompleteness are experienced due to incomplete knowledge of the complete. So we don't have knowledge of the complete. So how do we get the knowledge of the complete? Through Bhagavad-gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, kind of Vedic scriptures. So Bhagavad-gita contains the complete knowledge of Vedic wisdom. All Vedic knowledge is infallible, and Hindus accept Vedic knowledge to be complete and infallible. For example, cow dung is the stool of an animal, and according to Smriti or Vedic injunctions, if one touches the stool of an animal, he has to take a bath to purify himself. But in the Vedic scriptures, cow dung is considered to be purifying agent. One might consider this to be contradictory, but it is accepted because it is Vedic injunction. And indeed, by accepting this, one will not commit mistake. Subsequently, it has been proved by modern science that cow dung contains all antiseptic properties. So, Vedic knowledge is complete because it is above all doubts and mistakes. And Bhagavad-gita is the essence of all Vedic knowledge. So, in this paragraph, Prabhupada is explaining that there are different... So, before completing this paragraph, Prabhupada says in the previous sentence that this world is... You feel like this world is incomplete and imperfect because you don't have enough knowledge. Now, where do we get this knowledge? So, there are three different ways to get knowledge. Pratyaksha praman, seeing and believing. Hanuman praman, analyzing something and coming up with some conclusion. And there is a third way, this is called Shabda Praman, to listen from a authoritative source and accept it as it is. So Vedic knowledge is Shabda Praman. It is given by authorities. And Prabhupada says here, all Vedic knowledge is infallible. Infallible means there is no mistake in Vedic knowledge. There are so many concepts human beings they denied from Vedic scriptures, and eventually they did their own research for many decades and centuries, and eventually came to the same conclusion of the Vedic scriptures. One such example Prabhupada gives here that is that of cow dung. Any stool of any animal is considered very bad, very dirty, very muchi, what is it called? Apavitra. Vedic injunctions say that if you touch your own stool also, you have to take bath. But cow's stool, cow dung, is used even to bathe the Supreme Personality of God. Now one might think this is contradictory, but eventually the scientists figured out that indeed cow dung has antiseptic properties. So what Prabhupada is trying to say here, as Vedic knowledge, Vedic scriptures are infallible, and if you accept them as it is, instead of questioning and experimenting, especially experimenting, it will be very beneficial for you, because you don't have much time, especially in Kali Yuga. What all things you can experiment in, isn't it? So when we read Bhagavad-gita, we should accept everything as it is, and we should try to inculcate that in our daily life, and you will realize that it is true. In Bhagavad-gita itself, Krishna says, this is not something that you should blindly follow. You should accept it, you should follow it, you should try to implement it in your daily life, and get your own experience and your own happiness through that, and then you believe Bhagavad-gita. Pratyaksha-avagamam dharmam. That is the way. Vedic knowledge is not a question of research. Our research work is imperfect because we are researching things with imperfect senses. We have to accept perfect knowledge, which comes down, as it's stated in Bhagavad-gita, by the parampara or disciplic succession. We have to receive knowledge from the proper source in disciplic succession, beginning with the Supreme Spiritual Master, the Lord Himself, and handed down to a succession of spiritual masters. Arjun, the student who took lessons from Lord Sri Krishna, accepts everything that he says without contradicting him. One is not allowed to accept one portion of Bhagavad-gita and not another. No, we must accept Bhagavad-gita without interpretation, without deletion, and without our own whimsical participation in the matter. Very important. Especially in Kali Yuga today, the relationship between spiritual master and a disciple, in a pure Vedic sense, they are called Guru and Shishya, is kind of become a joke. People, they want to accept Guru, but they don't want to accept all the things that Guru tells you. They want to read scriptures like Bhagavad-gita, they want to listen to Bhagavad-gita, but they want to accept only the portion that they like. It doesn't work like that. We don't have complete faith in Krishna, we don't have complete faith in spiritual master. So we all have this filter in front of us. Whenever we listen to Bhagavad-gita, whenever we listen to Bhagavatam, we filter out everything. Whatever suits my lifestyle, I will take it. Whatever suits my sense enjoyment, the way I am living, I will take it. The rest shlokas, I will keep it like that. No. And some people do understand this, and they feel like, Prabhuji, at least I am taking something from Bhagavad-gita. No, it doesn't work like that. Prabhupada often explains this as, what is that called? Ardha Kukuti Niti or something like that. Like a person who owns a chicken, he likes to have only the back part of chicken because that gives him eggs. The front part he has to feed every day, so he doesn't like that. So he says, no, I don't want the front part. I'll just take only the back part. It doesn't work like that. The chicken will be dead. He will not get any eggs. So see the way Prabhupada writes in the introduction itself. Many devotees are not able to understand this, not even able to comprehend this. Such a powerful sentence, isn't it? We have to receive knowledge from the proper source in disciplic succession, beginning with the Supreme Spiritual Master, the Lord Himself, and handed down to a succession of spiritual masters. Arjun, the student who took lessons from Lord Sri Krishna, accepts everything that he says without contradicting him. Of course, Arjun was allowed to ask as many questions as he wants to clear out all his doubts, questions, samshayas. But eventually I have to accept everything. That's why Prabhupada writes, very powerful sentence. One is not allowed to accept one portion of Bhagavad-gita and not another. No. We must accept Bhagavad-gita without interpretation, which means I think it is like that, yeah, I think it should be like that, I think, no. Without deletion and without our own whimsical participation in the matter. Oh, it may be like that. I think Lord Krishna is trying to say something like this. Why do you think? It's pretty much clear in every shloka actually. Whatever is not clear, Arjun is asking question and Lord Krishna is making it clear again. Why do you have to think? The Gita should be taken as the most perfect presentation of Vedic knowledge. Most perfect presentation of Vedic knowledge. Vedic knowledge is received from the transcendental sources, and the first words were spoken by the Lord Himself. Now try to understand this. The Gita should be taken as the most perfect presentation of Vedic knowledge. Many of our devotees, they think they are ready for Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita, but they don't want to understand Bhagavad Gita. Prabhupada says the entire building of bhakti, the top floor of which is Gopi Bhav, probably like 1,000 stories building or something like that. Some days on a cloudy day, you don't even see the top floor. But whichever floor you may think you are today, the entire building is kept on Bhagavad Gita. If there is no Bhagavad Gita, there is no bhakti. There is no building of bhakti. That's how important Bhagavad Gita is. Gita should be taken as the most perfect presentation of Vedic knowledge. Most perfect. Vedic knowledge is received from transcendental sources, and the first word were spoken from the Lord Himself. The words spoken by Lord are different from words spoken by a person of the mundane world who is infected with 4 defects. Now this is another concept we have to understand. Why we have to accept Vedic knowledge as it is. Why we have to accept Bhagavad Gita as it is. Because it is written by a perfect person. Mundane person like you and me, we cannot write such literature. Because why? We have 4 defects. Number 1, is sure to commit mistakes. Nobody in this world can say, I never committed any mistake, isn't it? So someone who makes mistake, how can he write something perfect? Number 2, is invariably illusioned. He has a tendency to be illusioned. He likes to stay in illusion. Number 3, has the tendency to cheat others. So if you have a tendency to cheat others, you will change something. You will write something which is not true. And number 4 is limited by his imperfect senses. So if we say, some people do say like this, Show me, then only I will accept. Yeah, but your eyes are not able to see so many things. You do accept them, isn't it? Your ears are not able to hear so many frequencies. Everybody accepts we cannot hear frequencies below 20 hertz and we cannot hear frequencies above 20 kilohertz. Similarly, there are so many things which your senses cannot perceive. So somebody whose senses are imperfect, they are not perfectly complete, how can he write transcendental knowledge? And why is he so adamant to not accept this transcendental knowledge? This is given, this is spoken by Lord Krishna himself. And Lord Krishna is perfect. So whatever comes from him should be perfect. And if it is perfect, why are you hesitating to accept any part of this Bhagavad Gita? You should accept each and every line. Why you are accepting one line and not rejecting the another? This is what is called faith or Shraddha. The most important thing in the process of devotional service. In any field actually, not only in the process of devotional service. If you want to join any cricket club or if you want to join any in a chamber of commerce for a business purpose, or you want to go visit a medical practitioner, you should, first and foremost thing is you should have some faith there, isn't it? So faith means the person you are accepting as your guide, you should accept each and every line of that person. If you are not accepting each and every line of Bhagavad Gita, that means you don't have faith in Bhagavad Gita. You don't have faith in the Supreme Personality of God. You are accepting few lines and you are not accepting a few other lines. That means you still don't have faith, isn't it? And many times devotees, they think that, oh, we do have faith, we do accept Lord Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We are beyond this first stage of faith. We are now doing sadhu sangha, we are doing bhajana kriya, we are in the process of anartha nivritti. No, there are so many sentences in Bhagavad Gita you don't accept as it is. You do exactly opposite of that in your everyday life. What kind of faith is that? In previous yugas, people used to accept that they don't have faith. But in Kali Yuga, people will blindly say that they have faith, but they will not believe. They won't have actual faith. It's like going to the doctor, saying that I do completely believe in this doctor. And when he prescribes something, you come home and say, no, I will take this pill, but not this pill. And what kind of faith is that? Isn't it? So, with these four imperfections, one cannot deliver perfect information of all-pervading knowledge. Vedic knowledge is not imparted by such defective living entities. It was imparted unto the heart of Brahma, the first created living being, and Brahma in turn disseminated this knowledge to his sons and disciples as he originally received it from the Lord. The Lord is Purnam, all perfect, and there is no possibility of his becoming subjected to the laws of material nature. One should therefore be intelligent enough to know that the Lord is the only proprietor of everything in this universe, and that he is the original creator, the creator of Brahma. In the 11th chapter, the Lord is addressed as Prapitamaha, because Brahma is addressed as Pitamaha, the grandfather, and he is the creator of the grandfather. So no one should claim to be the proprietor of anything. One should accept only things which are set aside for him by the Lord as his quota for his maintenance. So try to understand that this introduction, Srila Prabhupada is trying to give every possible information out there. So many references from Upanishads, so many references from Srimad Bhagavatam, And many times Srila Prabhupada gives such conclusive sentences also. Someone who is reading Bhagavad Gita for the first time, he might not accept these statements. That's okay. Eventually we will read Bhagavad Gita, and with every chapter we will analytically study everything, and that may help you to accept these statements. Like everything belongs to the Lord. Everything is created by the Lord. So He is the proprietor of anything, everything. One should accept only things which are set aside for Him by the Lord as His quota for His maintenance. There are many examples given of how we are to utilize those things which are set aside for us by the Lord. This is also explained in Bhagavad Gita. In the beginning, Arjun decided that he should not fight in the battle of Kurukshetra. This was his own decision. Arjun told the Lord that it was not possible for him to enjoy the kingdom after killing his own kinsman. This decision was based on the body because he was thinking that the body was himself and that his bodily relations or expansions were his brothers, nephews, brother-in-law, godfathers, and so on. He was thinking in this way to satisfy his bodily demands. Bhagavad Gita was spoken by the Lord just to change this view. And at the end, Arjun decides to fight under the directions of the Lord when he says, Karishye vachanam tava, I shall act according to thy words. In this world, man is not meant to toil like hogs. He must be intelligent to realize the importance of human life and refuse to act like an ordinary animal. A human being should realize the aim of his life. And this direction is given in all Vedic literatures. And the essence is given in Bhagavad Gita. What is the importance of human life? Vedic literature is meant for human beings, not for animals. Animals can kill other living animals and there is no question of sin on their part. But if man kills an animal for the satisfaction of his uncontrolled taste, he must be responsible for breaking the laws of nature. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly explained that there are three kinds of activities according to the different modes of nature: the activities of goodness, of passion, and of ignorance. Similarly, there are three kinds of eatables also: eatables in goodness, passion, and ignorance. All of this is clearly described, and if we properly utilize the instructions of Bhagavad Gita, then our whole life will become purified. And ultimately, we will be able to reach the destination which is beyond this material sky. This is very important concept of Bhagavad Gita actually, and this is the truth. Everything in this material world, everything, including the concept of time, including the human beings, the animals, the beasts, the plants, insects, everything, your food, your clothes, your music, everything can be explained by the modes of material nature, sattva, rajani, tamagun. And how that affects our karma, how that affects our emotions, how that affects our bondage in this material world, described in the Bhagavad Gita. In fact, in the very first verse of this chapter, where Lord Krishna starts explaining these material modes, sattva, raja, tamagun, he says, many scholars, they have understood these material modes, three material modes, and they have attained liberation just by understanding these three material modes of nature. Because these three material modes are what keeping us here, bound by these three chains. So one example Prabhupada gives here is kind of eatables also, what you need to eat. People in mode of goodness, what do they eat? People in mode of passion, what do they eat? It's described in the Bhagavad Gita. It's very, very, very practical. And once you understand this, you can tweak, you can fix, and you can get out of this bondage. All of this is clearly described, and if we properly utilize the instructions of Bhagavad Gita, then our whole life will become purified, and ultimately we will be able to reach the destination which is beyond this material sky. That destination is called Sanatan sky, the eternal spiritual sky. In this material world, we find that everything is temporary. It comes into being, stays for some time, produces some byproducts, dwindles, and then vanishes. That is the law of material world. Whether we use as an example this body or a piece of fruit or anything in this material world, it has these 6 stages. It comes into being, stays for some time, produces some byproducts, dwindles, and then vanishes. But beyond this temporary world, there is another world of which we have information. This world consists of another nature which is Sanatan, eternal. Jiva is also described as Sanatan, eternal. And the Lord is also described as Sanatan in the 11th chapter. We have an intimate relationship with the Lord. And because we are all qualitatively one, the Sanatan Dham or sky, the Sanatan Supreme Personality and the Sanatan living entities, the whole purpose of Bhagavad Gita is to revive our Sanatan occupation or Sanatan Dharma, which is the eternal occupation of the living entity. Many people don't understand. See, Prabhupada states here very clearly, the purpose of Bhagavad Gita is to revive our Sanatan occupation. Means what work you do. The work is what binds us here. This is the theme of Bhagavad Gita. What work you do every day from morning till evening, and how much you sleep also, that is also one kind of work. Every action you do, that binds you. And Bhagavad Gita gives you knowledge of how to fix your actions. Not stop actions, but how to fix your actions. How to stop what you are doing today and what to do, which will not bind you anymore. And most of our devotees, they don't seem to understand this. That the purpose of Bhagavad Gita is to change your occupation. You cannot be doing the same thing that you are doing right now and expect that it will free you just because you became a devotee externally. Bhagavad Gita, understanding Bhagavad Gita means changing your work. That is the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. You have to change your work. You have to stop the work that is binding you. And you have to start such a work which will free you. If you're not understanding this, yeah, it may take time, that's understandable. But many people don't seem to even understand this, comprehend this. They are not ready to accept this, that they have to change their work. Okay? The purpose of Bhagavad Gita is to revive our Sanatana occupation. Which means what occupation you are in today is wrong. Very simple explanation, isn't it? And which is called Sanatan Dharma, which is the eternal occupation of the living entity. We are temporarily engaged in different activities, but all of these activities can be purified when we give up all these temporary activities and take up the activities which are prescribed by the Supreme Lord. Very clear? Okay. When we give up what we are doing today and start doing what Krishna wants you to do. Like Arjun says, yeah, I didn't want to do that, but since you want me to do this, I will do it. Because you are the Supreme Person and I have decided to do whatever you tell me to do. Karishye vachinam tava. That is called our pure life. The Supreme Lord okay, now how do I remember this? Let's stop here. It's 5:28. We'll start reading next Saturday from this paragraph. The Supreme Lord and His transcendental abode are both Sanatan. Now this word came Sanatan, which literally means eternal, which never comes into existence or never is destroyed. So this word, Srila Prabhupada explains that you have eternal occupation also, you have a Sanatan work also, activities, which is called Sanatan Dharma. Similarly, everything that is related to Krishna is Sanatan, including we are Sanatan, we are eternal. So that is explained later in next few paragraphs. We'll start reading that from the next week. So we'll stop here. Let's discuss for a few minutes. If anybody has any questions, concerns, or realizations, anything anybody wants to share. Hare Krishna. Shubha-Vilas Prabhu was saying that this subject matter is so complicated, at the same time it is so important in our life. We should have many questions, concerns. Realizations. So maybe from next week we should turn on the videos and do a video meeting instead of just listening to some voice coming from the other side of the world.
Yeah, it will be nice to hear what other people also, how they see everything when we read, how they conceive everything.
Right.
Hear some life experiences. It's nice to hear everyone's perspective.
Yeah. As we see when we start reading Bhagavad Gita, you will notice that even Lord Krishna does not promote this passive learning where one person is dictating and everybody is accepting everything as it is. Arjun asks so many questions, so many confusions, which helps us build proper faith. And faith is the beginning. So Prabhuji, people you might not know, you know Amol Prabhu, Hanuman Prabhu, you have heard of him. Vishwajit Prabhu is also our regular devotee from our Marathi Bhagavad Gita Bhagavatam classes. And I believe Yogesh Prabhu you know.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So apart from that,
we can do the video call. Hopefully it should be okay with everyone. Again, it's not to just to see everyone. It is nice to see. So ideally, all this reading should be done in person, sitting in front of each other. unfortunately it's not possible. We are sitting in different parts of the world. So at least, face to face, just it's nice to see each other. That's about it. Not to kind of see,
Yeah. Okay, we'll try to do that next week.
Rajesh Prabhu, Vivek Prabhu, Shiv, it's okay.
Yeah, I'm okay.
At least one person has started his video also. Yeah, so we will do that from next. Class. Nice. Okay, but and also we will try to stop reading maybe 7:50, at least 7:52, 7:50. So we have 10 minutes to share a few things. Because then also 8 o'clock, then I think Sana is waiting for Kia.
Yeah. No, we have to read this introduction part little faster, and we have to try to cover as much as possible. Once we start with the proper verses, then we will stop. We'll take different stops in between. Because many things in the introduction part, they are repeated, and very difficult to explain everything also, because they are again explained in the later chapters. So I thought we will give just 5 minutes, but I kept on reading today. We'll try to end 5 minutes before. Okay, if nobody has anything to share, then we'll stop here.
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare.
Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Vaishnav Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All goes to Bhagavad-gita as it is. Say Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.